Welcome to Frequent Traveler TV. Today's episode we have kind of topics for you which are Lufthansa sided. The first is wide bodies in Europe on Lufthansa 5 destinations. Let us talk about it. Lufthansa 747-8 had to return to Frankfurt and do a fuel dump due to technical problems. And Lufthansa cockpit. They are not happy with Lufthansa, and that is why they are getting more and more annoyed with them. Maybe we're getting a strike sooner than later. Condor, the other German airline, they are going to, it's not a raffle unfortunately, but they go to auction out premium economy and business class seats if those are still available 24 hours before departure. First topic. Wide bodies to fly in Europe, that is kind of the holy grail. With Finnair we did do it to London, to Frankfurt. I did it actually to Frankfurt more than once. It was a pleasant change as, come on, when you fly with an Embraer in economy class and then you get a wide body, that is a change from night to day. Anyways, Lufthansa has the 340s, 330s, 747s, 787s all utilized now, and that is why the Lufthansa will use the wide bodies on the 5 intra-European routes this summer from its main hub Frankfurt to Barcelona, to Hamburg, to Munich, to Palma de Mallorca, to Paris. Charles de Gaulle, yes. The Airbus 330-300 and 340-300 are used along with the Boeing 787-9er and 747-400. That is the latest of April 4th, which is today, yeah. The 5 destinations or routes, what they are flying intra-Europe, is for Lufthansa nothing new. I mean, they did long-haul operations within Europe, especially with the 787 between Frankfurt and Munich for the route proving, and then actually not to get the enough for the for the twin engine operations for for ETOPS. Confusing. Anyways, it was then a daily occurrence that they did fly. Then they had the 300-600, the A300-600, which was flying on these routes as well, and they only tend to be used for special occasions or during periods of significant demands. Actually, it's a 340-600, not the 300. A little typo. And let us go into the details. Barcelona, May 2nd, 4th, 9th, 11th, 16th and 25th with the A330-300 Lufthansa flight number LH1134 and the return flight 1135. And the departure times from Frankfurt are 2 o'clock-ish because there are varieties of departures depending on the day and the scheduling. Hamburg is on the May 2nd, 4th, 11th, 18th, 25th with the 747-400 is LH2 and LH9 in return, 6:30 the departure. A quite early one, huh? April 17th to 30th, Munich with the 787-9er. That is because they got again a new aircraft, so they have to do the ETOPS thing again here as well. I think it's the 5th one then, no? And the departure times are always approximately 3 o'clock. And then we have some departures which are going at 7:15, which is LH110 and 118 in return, and 115 and 123 in the evening as a return. Then we have Palma with the 747-400 on April 9th, 16th and 23rd. It's LH1158. It's 12:30 departure. Paris, Charles de Gaulle, depending on the day, it's a A330-300, A340-300 as LHN1026, and the return would be 1027 and a 7:05 departure on May 2nd, 3rd, 7th, 9th, 10th, 14th, 16th, 17th, 21st and 26th. I mean, okay, let's say, be honest, for the flight from Frankfurt to Hamburg, it's just a 45-minute in business class. You even cannot enjoy properly the lie flat because 15 minutes, then top of descent, and then again. So you can be there 10 to 15 minutes to enjoy it. So that is something which is not so nice when the typical flight takes about 40 to 55 minutes. On 5 dates in May, Lufthansa will be using the 747s on the routes, replacing the normal 318-20 or 321s. And that is kind of interesting. If you are interested to do it, feel free to do so, but don't be disappointed as there are no special services. 747-8 had some technical issues. They had to return. They were over Ireland and then they had a technical problem. They didn't mention which it is. Lufthansa crew was on the way to Miami and it was a hydraulics problem, but not mentioning what proper hydraulic situation it was. And it was Delta Alpha Bravo Yankee Golf. Safe landing, of course, at the aircraft back in Frankfurt. They had to fuel dump as they didn't want to have a heavy landing. Yeah, that's what we say, and nothing happened, but that's just for people because they said, some people asked me and were confused about why they did not fly over Ireland back, because they made over Ireland and went then up and made the turn back to continental Europe. The reason is most likely for fuel dumping. That is just a guess, because over the ocean it's best. But mostly when you do fuel dump in these altitudes, it vaporizes, so you will not have any trouble at this point. Where you have trouble at this point is the union for pilots, and they are confrontational again. 5 months they are now negotiating, and it's the Vereinigung Cockpit, which is passenger or actually cockpit union. And for passengers we have the Vereinigung Passagier, which is the passenger union. Nice, isn't it? Yeah, they are looking for more money, and they have agreed to negotiate in a closed room because it should have been a secret negotiation, and they wanted to avoid a strike, and that should be avoided because the aviation just goes up, and Lufthansa is doing quite well and performing very well, but the negotiations are like a couple. They cannot get along, they have to get divorced. But unfortunately in this case you cannot get divorced, and even you made twice a week or 3 times a week, I don't know, they say they did meet a couple of times weekly, that there are so many topics which are discussable, and it was that there is nothing coming to the outside what they're talking about, and that is why the cockpit union is not talking to their members what the problem is. There is not, unfortunately we don't know why they are not getting to one solution, but it is said in one podcast it would be very chewy, the negotiations, and it's not very simple to find a solution, and that the closed room, which was for the secrecy, did not change anything. But now they want to negotiate in public, and most likely it is really about the money, because they have the VTV, which is the Vergütungstarifvertrag, which is the money, and then they have a kind of a Manteltarifvertrag, which is covering all, which is talking about the working conditions. And for both parts of the contract, the union says we have priority on both. It's the same priority, so we don't. It's not about more money. It's not about. It's the same thing. And especially when you look to the US, where they got 34% more, the pilots, in salaries, it is most likely that Lufthansa has to top up their offerings. Yeah, strike is an option, unfortunately. Until the end of June, there is a kind of, in German it's called Friedenspflicht, which means mandatory peace. And then the pilots who are really annoyed and really angry with Lufthansa say, of course, we don't hesitate to go on strike. And it's about flying times, about rest times, standby times, and of course times where they don't have to work, and of course changes in the schedule. We will see. Kind of interesting. The last topic is a topic where I want to end on a nice topic, and that is, if you are flying with Condor and you have a ticket in premium economy or you have a ticket in economy class and there should be space available, business or premium economy when you're coming from economy. There is 24 hours before the departure a kind of it is an auction. Yeah. I made my jokes when Lufthansa made the auction at the gate, where I say, yeah, here, business class seat is 60 euros. 60 euros, yeah, this gentleman over there, the lady, yeah, 75, yeah, any, I don't know. You know how it goes when they do it in the US, 100, 110. I like when they are singing. But basically in the app, which is called Seat Boost, that is something which you have to have as an app then to participate in the auction for the Condor. That would be a solution for Lufthansa as well. There you have to pay them with credit card and you have to be checked in for your flight. That are the things you have to have. And if you are offering the most, you get the hammer down and it's your seat. And you will get a new boarding pass depending which booking class you have, business or premium economy, and the app will show it to you. The first destinations which will try this will be, of course, the upgrade auctions on long-haul flights. And during the year, they will do it as well and roll out for short-haul and medium-haul flights. Lufthansa is, like I said, testing it, and we'll see how it is. But eBay for everyone in aviation, it's getting cuckoo. Another question is, do I get miles? What is the miles situation? Do I get miles? Lounge access? If it's 24 hours earlier, why not? And it's at the gate, of course, not happening. But again, thank you for watching Frequent Traveler TV, today's episode on the 4th of April 2013. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing, hitting the notification button, the bell. For you, it's just a click. For us, it's for the algorithm. Thank you for doing so. Liking the episode would be great as well. And your comments, highly appreciated. Looking forward to hear from you. Thank you so much, and see you tomorrow for the next episode. Bye-bye. I'm off.